Well, we're going to let people come on in and get their seats here, getting ready for the crash course. Listen to the sweet melodic tones of FT8. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I hooked up FT8 on my 7300, my ICOM 7300. Oh boy, it is so easy. I had so many issues doing FT8 with that, the Zaiju X5105, which you could still do. But the 7300, man, takes out all of that guesswork. It is crazy. Crazy good. I'm just going to let everybody slide on in here. You know, I'm going to start some CQs now. Let's call CQ. Why don't I switch you guys over while we get ready here. Got a lot to do today. Gonna build that dipole. Should be fun, right? Here we go. Calling CQ. 3 a.m. in England, standard science. What's up? Rubber chicken, 10 p.m. in Boston. Heck yeah, buddy. Wow, that's very cool. No. The 7300 is, you know, portable, but not QRP portable. Not soda portable. Maybe if I was doing, you know, I had to walk like 100 feet from a trunk to a picnic table. Yeah, sure. I'll do soda like that. Like I heard that Pikes Peak in Colorado, one of the biggest mountains you can get to is like that. You got a lot of it's a walk up basically. So, I would do that. I would drag the 7300 out for that. So we're calling CQ. I've only been successful. Those red dashes on the right-hand side there, underneath all the yellow and the green, those are contacts I made, but they're only in California. So either because I'm on the left side, the west side of the sundown, nothing, I haven't gotten to the right yet. That's possibly what's going on. All right, we got everybody sliding into the chat right now, sliding into the weekend with the Friday Ham Radio Crash Course. And we do have a very important show. It's going to be a lot of fun. The fun's just getting started. Anyway, let's work through some notes here. As always, we move forward with ham radio, and I've been talking about my ongoing troubles with, hold on, I got a text. My ongoing troubles with the antenna. I got a tuner. Got myself, and you know what? We'll slide over to that right now. Got myself an MFJ tuner, this guy right down here at the bottom. This thing will tune up anything. The 7300 has a tuner, but it only wants to work with antennas that are at least 3-to-1 SWR, which is not a great match, but, you know. What's up, everybody? What's up, Senor? Haven't been following for a while, listening to Baofeng. All right, couldn't keep up. So, moving forward with ham radio, I realized about the 7300. It's great radio, love it, but you still need other things, right? Like we talked about the power supply before. Now we're talking about the tuner. This tuner is awesome. Tunes up literally anything. So with that said, I'm going to exit out of WSJTX, and I'm going to dial on over to 14. Sorry about that. Give you guys all motion sickness. We're going to go to 1426. If any of you are feeling saucy and want to try and reach me, put something in the chat and let me know, okay? And we'll try and do a QSO. All right, what else we got? Walking through the notes here. So, Ham Radio Crash Course on Facebook, just a reminder, everybody. The newsletter on Patreon, which it's Patreon starts at $1, gets you access to the newsletter. Went out last week, but if you pay in for the buck, you get all the back issues and all that stuff since we've been doing it. Wanted to make a note, too, and so this is a fun little kind of, where is it? Hunting the Bismarck on this extra history or extra credits, extra history. Really cool. It's this kind of animated video about World War II trying to find the Bismarck. And one of the ways they tried to find the Bismarck was radio. They used they were listening for telegraph and who was talking on the telegraph and what they were talking about, and they were trying to decipher the enigmas that way. Super, super interesting. So the link's in the description. Go check that out once we're done with the chat, of course. Another reminder, too, on my emergency comms video that I did, I showed you the Dakota lithium battery. Well, the owner, I think, contacted me and said, if anybody's interested in buying a Dakota lithium battery for whatever their QRP rig or maybe getting ready for field day, they'll take, I think, $5 off if you use the coupon code HOSHNASI at checkout. So passing the savings on to you guys if you're interested in that. It's a great battery. It equally sized, equally powered salt lead acid battery is going to be much heavier. That thing is so light, and you can see here, I like how they put this graph out there. This is how SLAs is this green diagonal line. SLAs, they just keep going down. You just keep losing power. But the lithium ion holds for a long time and then it dumps. But it's like almost three times the capacity, right? So awesome. Super awesome. All right, what else do we got? Okay, I mentioned that. Oh, so I'm going to wait a second. I want to remind everybody, Discord, we do a chat at the end, and the link is also in the description for that, for the Discord. We do a live chat with whomever wants to hop on, voice chat or text chat, and we'll take your questions there if you don't get them in time, because there's a lot of people in the chat room, so I appreciate that not everybody will get their stuff in. So, it happens. All right, what do we got in the chat? Tuna fish. Will it tuna fish for poke? Dude, I love poke. It might tuna fish. I know it'll tuna lawn chair. I bet it will. Let's see. What else we got in there? Zach, hey from San Diego. What's up? Carrie's in the house. What's up from Memphis? Right on. Caesar is asking, do you have info on making field antennas just by using wire? The commo guys would use field commo wires, buttons, and even plastic spoons as insulators. Yeah. I mean, what we're doing today is actually going to be taking this zip wire, which is a lamp power wire. They call it zip wire because it's got it's just plastic that's connecting it. It's a twin lead, basically. It's like a ladder line, but without a ladder space, right? So we're going to take that today, and we're going to convert it into a dipole. Alla, right? Who did that? Who was the one who showed us that antenna? That's right, Jerry. KG6HQD. I think I need a little help doing the antenna. What do you think? Should I bring some help in? Let's bring some help in. Why don't you slide on over and get a chair here? Hey, what's up? It's Jerry.
Crew.
So that's the special surprise, I guess you could say. There's the video.
All right.
So you know you're in
the mix.
Yeah. So okay. So he got some Hogarden, but I got something really special. This is the bomb right here.
Okay.
Black Tuesday by the brewery. Only comes out once a year. Okay.
Wow, looks like pirate beer.
Can you read that there? What's that say?
Not really. I didn't bring my glasses.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know that was a requirement. Imperial Stout, aged in bourbon barrels. Wow.
Yeah, 19%.
Are you asking me to stay the night already?
Yeah, we gotta guess.
Because I also brought Jameson.
Oh yeah, you got it.
What kind of show is this?
Okay. All right.
Glasses even. All right. Good.
Yeah, I'm all set. So.
How about an ice box for these things? What do we do with that?
We'll get to them. I don't
just
know.
gonna drink them? I mean.
Yeah, we'll just make it work. So here we go. All right, I got my special mini pilsners.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
This is that tar stuff you were drinking last time.
Yeah, this is the no joke, really good beer.
Wow. Ooh.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
All right. You might have to slide over, maybe tilt the chair a little bit.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you had that before?
Oh, yeah. They've been making this for about 5 years.
Holy moly.
It's no joke. It's really serious.
All right.
So, Jerry, which it's almost like Inception because we got your video here on the side too. But so we're going to do your dipole, which you did with speaker wire.
Yeah.
I don't have speaker wire. I have zip wire, which is lamp wire. It's a bit thicker. It's heavier. You can see it right there.
Yep.
I've already cut it. So I took, let me see if I'm doing this right, which I think I did. You're going to take the feed line is 18 feet. So what connects to the radio. And then you've got an extra 17 to 18 feet above that.
Right.
So you just add the two up, and that's what you need to start.
So yeah, I wanted to have. I told you in my video that I did 490 divided by megahertz, the frequency in megahertz, to give me a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it came out to, if I remember off the top of my head, I don't have the calc in front of me. Oh, you might have it right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17.16.
Yep.
Around there. So I was thinking 17.25 inches long.
Right. And
So,
I made it a little bit longer because you got to tie that electrician's knot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other thing I was going to say, and you know, that was the first one that I built. Well, two things. One, out of the antenna book, this is actually what that was designed for, was this lamp cord.
Okay.
So the knot will probably actually hold a little better, I imagine. I'm guessing. We'll find out.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other thing is, you know, I wanted to get it up high enough where it would be effective off of the ground.
Right.
But what I honestly didn't account for was setup configurations on how far away from the radio I might want to be, depending upon the hills that I do when I do summits on the air.
Oh,
so,
you mean from the feed line standpoint?
One of the questions I was going to ask myself, I was going to build probably a 40 meter one myself this weekend, was, you know, instead of being 20 feet high and 17 feet on each leg,
right?
Maybe I would build it with a 30-foot run, or maybe even a 35-foot run.
So longer feed line
from the knot, 35 feet,
right?
So 20 feet or so.
So it gives you
just
more
so
space.
It gives me a little bit more wiggle room
Yeah.
on the ground, because I'm going 20 feet up, which puts me almost right underneath the antenna. So that's just a thought.
This is, I think I did 20 feet from the knot.
Yeah.
Well, 20 feet before the knot, because I drew a line. So basically I measured 19 feet, or 20 feet, and then I drew a vertical line, or a line through the cord, and then I measured out the 18 feet. Okay. So that should give me enough room to split it and then tie the knot.
Yeah.
Ideally, right?
Super
Is that
simple.
the idea? That's the idea.
How are we gonna go out and put this on the meter and check it? I brought my analyzer just for fun. I know you
we may
probably
have to
one.
do that after the video, or at least explain how you do it.
Okay.
I've got a meter behind us that I can explain it, but I've got the little parts, the components, if you will. I was going to walk through some of that. So the BNC connector is what goes to your radio, right? And then the legs just kind of screw into these little posts.
Yep. Well, and on that, here's another design improvement, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Is on the next one that I build, I'll probably actually solder on some banana jacks onto the end of that.
Yeah.
Because with this one specifically, you've got a terminal connector of some sort there.
I was thinking
just
of
to make it a little
spades,
easier. I initially tinned the ends of mine, and then I actually got rid of that. I chopped that off after a while, because when I screwed down those binding posts, it got so tight that it started kind of just messing it up and getting kind of thin. So I thought it was better just to go with just a wire. So now, on the next evolution, I'll actually do like what you've got there, some kind of terminal connector there, whether it be ring or banana or whichever. I like the banana myself, because
bananas are nice, but they're big, right?
But well, look, so you can use these holes right here.
Punch right through that, right?
I don't know if you can see that. There's these holes right here you can use, and then if you open this up, if you have smaller ones, I don't know if I'm seeing that or not. There's more in there, so you have
can
some
go
options.
straight in too,
or straight in the top,
right there. So that gives you a lot of options.
So when it's set up, you have lots of different ways you can connect it.
That might be an option to do in the future. I have banana posts on another antenna when it's just a long wire. I've got a long wire that can go here, and then a counterpoise is cut to 20, so I can throw that up over a tracking, or whatever. That's a little bit rougher, but yeah. You gonna tweet it out?
Well, I was just seeing if my daughter. Yep.
Oh, they're at Disneyland.
Oh, they're at Disney. Don't OPSEC.
Oh,
but,
sorry.
It's a big place. I don't think they'll be able to be found.
Well,
they're Disneyland wearing a Star Wars mask, so go look for them.
Sorry.
But they say meet a YouTuber, I think so. So I don't know if it's them or me or what's going on here.
Oh.
So yeah, it could be them very well. But
yeah,
it just kind of worked out. I got to come over and hang out with you.
So Tom's asking, do you know what the maximum power is? I'll pull up another chat room so you can see this a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'm a little older than you, Josh. I gotta see a little better.
Yeah, I don't know how to make this. This is the chat room if you can get that.
I can see that.
Okay, cool. So I guess Tom's asking maximum power for the antenna. I don't know it.
So here, can it handle 20 watts? Yeah, I would say it can handle 20 watts. And to be honest with you, that question was asked on my YouTube feed as well. And my response was, I don't want to give anybody bogus information.
Right.
You know what? I really didn't think about it, because I know I run QRP. But after the question was posed, what I started thinking in my brain was, well, how many watts does this hold for a light bulb? Or the speaker wire, how many watts can you push through on speaker wire and have an effective sound, in essence? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I kind of was thinking about like that, and I don't even remember.
That is a practical load, a 40 watt, 80 watt, 60 watt light bulb, right? So
so with this one right here, and I don't know what gauge wire that is, but I'm sure this looks a little thicker. At least the vinyl's a little thicker on it. But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. There's probably a calculation out there, and I would suggest somebody maybe drop it in the comments if they have the formula. Don't just give an answer, because we want to see the formula and also your source for the formula, because if we're going to talk about pushing 1,500 watts, I mean, with safety issues, you obviously want to make sure that people get the right information. So
yeah, particularly, I guess if you're pretty out of match, too, that could be a real bad problem. Then you could really melt that sucker up if you're pushing that kind of power.
Big fun.
There's an experiment.
It's your house, not mine.
Just wait for some birds to land on it and maybe key up with the.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the first step is we'll just. Oh yeah, I got that heat gun in case I need that. So I might have totally knotted this up, but where's my end that I drew a line on?
Well, here's one end.
Yeah, this is the end I want. So I just drew 2 A's on there, and I don't know, so that I knew that this was the end that I wanted to split. And so basically, you can cut this, right, and then just split it by hand, pretty much?
I just split it by hand, yeah. I just ripped it apart. But that's actually a really good idea, to measure it while it's together and mark it. How do you make sure that the lengths are exactly the same, as close as possible? When you start matching it, you want it to be even. But see, we're 90% done already. Well,
almost,
40%,
right?
50% done. So let me ask you this. How much did this little run of zip cord cost you?
You know, grab the spool right there.
Oh, holy moly, you got a big spool.
Yeah, it was on...
Let's make an 80-meter one.
Yeah, it was on sale at Lowe's.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so I just went for it.
Yeah. So what'd you pay for this roll of probably, 500 feet? How much is on here?
I don't know, man. I don't know how much.
$20 maybe?
Maybe $20.
And that's a boatload of antennas for various bands, I could see.
Okay.
And you know what? And if you know, like some people is asking me too.
I'm not.
Hey, I messed up. It's like, well, then you just made yourself a 17-meter or a 15-meter, because you could just trim down. And if you accidentally cut too much, well,
that's a good idea. So be ambitious. Go for 40, and then just cut your way down.
And yourself with a 6-meter antenna.
Yeah, you're on 2 meter at that point. 70-centimeter dipole.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying not to get tangled. I want to find the part where I marked it in the middle, so I don't go too far.
And then I'll just...
And of course, I only put it on one side, so now I got to check both sides as I'm doing this. Just keep an eye out for a blue Sharpie marker. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Here, I'll hold that for you.
There you go.
So you can rip it down.
So, yeah. So we're just splitting the wire now.
What's going on, Tony? I see you in there, buddy.
So I guess
and standard.
The most annoying part of this is really tying the electrician's knot.
Oh, it's terrible.
Because it looks, that's when it's done. Yeah, but you're working with the ends, and you've got 17, potentially 18 feet of this.
You only really, when you kind of, almost like tying your shoe. When you do it, then you just kind of feed the one through, and you kind of pull it snug,
Yeah.
You got the electrician's knot mastered? You already tried it on something?
No.
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. I have a picture of it, though.
Okay, good.
But I don't even know that's going to help me. Okay. Got a bit of a twist.
There.
And there. So, one thing I did do, which we should do this now. Actually, could you hold on to that again?
Yep.
So another thing I wanted to do to kind of try and make this easier, and I don't know that it matters, but what the heck, we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to throw a bit of heat shrink tubing on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And just throw it right up on the...
oh, you're going to go over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that way it's kind of like just insurance. I like strain relief wherever I can do it.
That's what's cool about these projects. Everybody comes with a little bit of something extra to add to it, and pretty soon...
Yeah, grab that heat gun.
We'll have it. This thing all fired up, ready to roll?
Yeah,
Plug
go
in.
for it.
Okay, yep. Burn your hands. Ready?
Yep.
You got some nice hair there. Maybe you should do this instead of me. I put on cool? Oh, that's right. There we go. Does it go higher than this?
Yeah. It'll make it faster.
There we go. Looks like it's good.
That's it. Okay, so we got a little bit of strain relief. Now we got these legs here. I'm guessing part of the trick here is to not get them kinked. Probably.
Yeah, they'll spin around a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad. I mean, especially with this being a little thicker, I think it's easier to not be kinked.
Right.
The thinner stuff, I think, kinks a little bit more, especially when the wind's blowing and the trees and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I haven't wrapped my head around this.
Oh, is that a different?
I understand what it looks like when it's done, but I don't know how to get it started.
So make like bunny ears, and then you kind of go through each one.
So one that way.
Where are you at, though?
And
I would
one
do
in
it
the back?
Yeah, and then this one.
Oh, you got to start down at the...
Start down
at the feed point.
Where the split terminates.
Okay,
yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, boy. Okay, I see now. See how I've got this all backwards. Okay, so I've got the end. So we've got the lines split on the dipole. So now I guess I'm going to make... So you do one with the leg going backwards and the other one with the leg going forward?
So this one goes up and down. So make like a bunny ear.
Yeah.
And it's all matter what's in the front or the back. And the other one goes around the other way. So you kind of got it. Now
Like
just
that?
basically feed that one through there.
So I got to take... Oh, okay. Now I grab the leg.
Just push it through.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Push it
I
through
see.
and then pull it.
I see.
And then do the same thing with this one.
Oh, okay. That's not that bad.
And if you screw up the knot, so what? Untie it and do it again.
Yeah.
You know?
That's not bad at all. Okay, so now this guy goes through
right
this
there.
way. Well, shoot. That is very easy. This is supposed to be an hour-long stream. We're only like 20 minutes in. We're almost done. Is that right?
Looks good to me.
Yeah? Okay. Done. All right, so I also have...
So what do you plan on terminating each leg with, by the way? Just out of curiosity, do you have a plan for that, or?
So I think to tune it, I was just gonna make a bow line with some kind of cord, and then just twist it back over itself to tune it.
So I'll let you finish that, and then.
Or you can talk while I'm doing this.
Okay. So I'm gonna grab the other end because. There's something that comes up a lot with resistance on this antenna. I get people that are, questioning things, so I want to go ahead and just kind of address that. So, when you're tuning your antenna, for especially people that are not sure, one of the things you tend to do is you tend to wrap it back up on yourself, and in essence, this is the terminating point. So this is your distance of the overall antenna. So if you want to add, an inch or whatever, or take an inch off, then you take an inch off on this side and the other side. So you want to make sure that it's even on both sides of the leg, of course, but you're only measuring to that pinch point right there. So what do you do with this excess part right here? Well, a lot of people will take and they'll wrap it on itself. Make sure I can do this in front of your camera.
And that's what you
wrap it on
do.
yourself for now,
right? As
you're tuning it. Now, but I'll say this. Let me give you this example. So let's say you find yourself, like I did at first. I had, well, this is not this much, but I had quite a few inches that I was basically spinning on top of it like this.
Right.
When you do this many loops on it,
you're adding
what
impedance.
happens is you're adding the impedance. So your ohms are going to go up. So remember, the radio wants 50 ohms. So when you start doing this big old long mess right here, that's fine. Get your SWR where it needs to be until you get the length. Then once you get the length determined, then that's when you want to trim this off.
Yeah.
Trim as much of that off as possible. You may want to leave a little tag so you can feed it through something. But mark it on where, there we go, that's better.
Yeah.
Mark it where the actual length is, and that way if you do untangle it or something like that and you're rerouting it, then you know exactly where the bend point is, because the bend point, from the bend point to that knot is the length of each leg.
Yes.
So the big thing is for impedance is how many wraps around you have. You want to, after you get your SWR right, get rid of all this excess. Trim that down. Some people will add maybe a ring connector right here, ring connector, and they'll solder it on and crimp it and they'll heat shrink it, and then they can just terminate that on the end, and then there you go, it's fixed, which I think I'm going to do that next time.
Yeah.
Or whatever you're going to do, but get rid of all this extra. You don't need it. It's done. So that's one thing.
What kind of connector do you use, or would you recommend then for that?
Right what you have.
No. What?
A ring. Not a
a
horseshoe one, but a ring one.
Oh, the closed.
Yeah, just a closed little ring.
Yeah. Okay.
And that way you can actually put something in there, like a little hook, or you can tie something on it. I guess you're holding in front of your camera. That way, and then you can actually put some tension on it when you set it up.
Sure. Okay.
So two things. Go ahead.
No, you're saying basically tune to the SWR first.
Yes.
And then trim the excess and make it real tight.
So there's two
bring
things.
Your ohms down.
Two things that I found affected the impedance in this, even what it said in the book, was obviously all this wrap, like I just mentioned, but also, I mentioned it in my video, or get lined up here. The angle. If this is your transmission line here, see how the angle is too close to the transmission line? You want that angle at least at a 45-degree angle. See, it's nice that it works on your screen, or higher. And you want this part of it, I'll get it there eventually. This part of it here too, at least about 6 feet off the ground if you can. The higher you can get the end off of the ground, and at a 45 or greater, the better. I
guess if you have the top too low, then it's going to reduce your takeoff angle, and it acts more like an invis.
Yeah. I'm just going for impedance right now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The impedance part though is to get that thing off the ground, to get the end off the ground. If it was a dipole, it would be exactly horizontal all the way across.
Right.
But it's not. We're running it kind of like an inverted V.
Right.
So you want to get it off the ground just 6 or 8 feet if you can.
Yeah.
4 to 5 feet at a minimum.
Okay.
And you'll notice that 2 things. First, get rid of the excess, and then put it back to exactly where we had it, and then see where your impedance is at, and then start lifting it up off of the ground a little more until you find your sweet spot. And then you're going to know. It's like, okay, right about 5 feet off the ground is good.
That makes sense.
And when you do this, another thing I'd recommend, you're setting up and you're actually tuning it.
Yeah.
I would go to a park
Yes.
where there's no cars and garage doors and all this other stuff. I mean, because you want it to be as sterile as you possibly can.
Yep.
So that you can actually get a good reading. Because if you take it to an area that's dirty, well, at least now you know you took it to a dirty area versus I built it in a dirty area. Now I have really no idea what it's doing.
Right, and when you go to the top of the mountain, there's going to be no noise.
It's very clean.
Right,
that's
so you need to try and replicate that, the environment. So while Jerry was covering that, I put a zip tie kind of through both as best I could, and I attached a fishing swivel, which Jerry talks about in the video, with a hook, little swivel with a gate. So what we're going to do now, and I bought this kit that I thought might work pretty well. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry, what are you going to do with that?
So I took out one of the last segments of this rod that I've got, the one with the little cord.
Oh, so you can
and I'm going to glue that tip on there.
Well, here's what I'll say with that.
That might add impedance.
Well, if you put a little distance, like say you've got this metal swivel, I would have put a little more slack with the
and I can recut and put on a zip tie on there.
Because you see, this is common. You want to make it nice and snug and pretty, but I would make a bigger loop to get even this metal off of there, and that just creates a little bit of distance from the tip of your antenna too. Sure. So now you've got a buffer of a few inches.
Right.
And in all honesty, the swivel and the top of that is.
Well, you'll know when you test it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe when you go to the park to test this out, you bring some extra zip ties in case you want to stand off.
Well, I would just stand it off a little bit anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not much, just a little bit. And even if you don't, it now becomes part of the antenna.
Right.
And you're going to tune to it that way anyway. So
here's the ultimate question. How do you manage the 2 legs? Because I'm looking down at the floor here and I've got literally spaghetti.
How do I roll it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Here's the middle. Does that help?
So, nope. I go to one end or the other. I prefer to go to the full end.
The feed point.
Yeah, the feed point. Here we are. Look at
Okay. Oh, while you do that, I want to grab something. Don't
so
pay attention to
I just kind of do the old right around the thing. Hey, there goes Oz.
Yeah, there's Oz.
So I go all the way around, and then you'll find you get to the knot part right there, and keep going. And now you've got both in your hands. So especially on the dirt when you're out doing it, just roll it all the way up like so.
Right.
And once it's like that, I use those gear snakes.
Yeah.
And then look,
I've got one of those. We'll do that right now. I don't want to lose it.
Here's what I do. So then what I do is like this. I twist it like those car things.
Yeah.
And now it's like that.
Grab one so we don't...
But if you put the gear snakes on it, then when you open it back up, it's one big nice round.
Here, well, you got it like
chingus.
That. Because part of the reason we're not in a clean environment, so I didn't want to tune here to go through that whole business, particularly to cut anything, because that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Also, I made a bunch of these winders, and I know you had mentioned you wanted one.
I did, yeah. So. Your 3D printer stuff.
Yeah, you can have this one. This is the prototype. It's a little janky. But yeah, I ended up making a guy plate for my little vertical with the 3D printer. It was okay, cool. So
like here's this end, and then once you have your
and those are the
you'll know. And once you have your ring connectors or whatever, you'll kind of be able to visually see that. The other thing is, I was using bright orange 550 cord for each one of my legs.
Yeah.
Or some of that stuff that I use that's on my site. Yeah, what's that called?
Oh, you can't see it. Look.
Oh, it's green. Yeah, watch this out. But it's green, and it's Dyneema. It's almost like
it's awesome.
It's really cool. It doesn't snag.
There's no
it's a little expensive.
It's static though. There's no stretch.
Right.
It's just.
That's the only downside. But with the 550 cord,
which is great,
is good. But high vis is the point. I bought some stuff at REI. It looks like a wax thread that you would soap a tent, or it's like really thick. But
like a bank line, like if you're running a catfish.
Yeah.
Bank line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I bought some of that, and it's really. I thought, oh, look how small that is. It's great. But then I went out and I dropped it in the dirt, and I was like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
Even when it popped off, because when it's wind and you're breaking things down, things pop apart.
Right.
And then it dropped in the ground. I'm like, uh-oh. Luckily I was able to see it because vertical line and the stuff. But anyway, so I would recommend anything with high vis to terminate your stuff. So then I just gear snake, like I was saying.
And by gear snake, we mean that metal.
Yeah, it's got like a
wrapped
metal
in plastic. You get it at Walmart. Big spool of it for like $5.
Yeah, it's cheap, and these things are awesome.
I bring extra feet of that. And oh, by the way, I am still monitoring 14.260, so if anybody calls, let me know in the comments.
Fold it like that.
Got it. Okay. Cool. So then you take this and throw it in your stuff sack or whatever you're doing. Maybe a pound.
Well, and that's the thicker stuff too.
It's the thicker stuff, so you get more of the.
You don't have a scale? You don't have a scale here?
Yeah, but it's
all
kind of a.
No
excuse
scale?
me. Oh, I know. I know, right? I've got a little bit of everything. There's a scale, but it's kind of a weird scale. You have to like have a plate to work it on. But I don't have. Wow. You like that, right? I don't know that you need. Don't know that we need any more than an extra 6-pack.
Yeah.
So anyway, so.
You have a Mary Smith neck.
You know what? Actually, let's switch back over because
comments over here?
I'll let you read the comments while I pull up this other one. It sounds like somebody's playing Indian music on this.
Wow. It's Disneyland. You live pretty close.
Yeah, I do live very close to Disneyland.
All right, let's see what we got in
Go ahead and you answer. Sorry.
All right, go ahead.
I'm trying to...
KMRD. Yeah, I've been talking to him a bit. Definitely. I hope you make one too. There's guys in Italy making this, Spain, Canada, all across the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually working pretty good. You know, I had one guy tell me, he's like, "Oh, that thing will never work." You know, one of the comments on my thread for it, and I challenged him. I was like, "Well, say what you want, but I know that I get a lot of OMs, the high OMs that are
high OM.
Yeah, that are basically telling me, you know, that thing will never work and QRP is terrible." And it's like, and then now they're watching my videos, and they're actually sending me email. Of course, they don't want to put it publicly, but they'll send me emails and they're saying, like, "Hey, do you have any tips on how to make single sideband contacts?" With these band conditions.
You're like, yeah, watch my videos.
Like, yeah, build a crappy speaker wire antenna that has terrible impedance and it works great.
Yeah. So let me
kind of a joke, but.
So I got asked.
What's that?
Raymond asked this question, and you're perfect to answer this.
Especially how to extend the wires, the length they need.
You think you covered part of it?
Okay, so here's one of the things that I'd like to kind of just go through that real quick, maybe a bit more on soda antenna.
Yeah.
Extending the wires, I did kind of cover on that. I use either rocks. I'll just take have a good run of 15 feet of 550 cord or whatever you can use to terminate each end of the leg. I'll wrap it around boulders. I'll wrap it around a good sized little log or something and kind of throw it, or that way I can move it around. I do bring some really lightweight aluminum tent stakes, MSR style, and I'll stick those in the ground if the ground's soft enough.
Those are nice.
I'll tie it up to trees. And let me get my angle right here. I don't mean to step in front of you. But I don't care, like, if this is a perfect V, I don't care if I have one leg up. It doesn't matter. It does not have to be perfect. Just get it up there kind of pretty decent and you'll be all right.
You're beating most of the antenna perfectionists by being so high up to begin with. You're totally killing it with that regard. So even if you've got to throw one leg over a tree,
doesn't matter.
And it could be cocked like that, and the other one is cocked something like that. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
And you're gonna get what you're gonna get anyway. You know what I mean?
We're in my mad scientist office here, so it's Jerry. This is the first time you're seeing it, so it's probably a lot to take in.
What do I gotta look around for now? I feel like I'm doing
everything. Yeah. Well, don't look too hard. Because you might find something.
I'm gonna look right here.
Keep it.
All right. So, how to extend the length? Do they need tuning? So, here's the thing on tuning. Remember, I suggest doing 490 divided by the frequency you desire in megahertz. So if you're a general...
To be the center point.
So if you know you're going to do only soda with this and sideband, build it higher in the band. Build it at 14.275 instead of 14.225.
Right.
You know, don't look at just the... I got to get used to where this thing's at. Don't look at the whole... Which one am I looking at? Why is that? There it is. Where's my other hand?
Well, because we got the green screen behind us. If I do it any further back, we'll lose the green screen.
That's all right. So anyways, you don't want to worry about the entire band, is what I'm trying to say. Worry about the band that you're going to focus on. It's cheap. Who cares? And even if you're off a little bit, you have enough. If you have a tuner in your radio, you have enough to take out that slack anyway. I mean, this thing is dead nuts 1-to-1 on the band. It's like flat.
And you see your tuner, when you pop the tune, it's like...
Even on 40 meters.
Yeah. I remember that.
I mean, which is crazy. But you can move it around to where you want that center point and tune it for there. But anyways, 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz is the formula for the legs that you need for the halfway dipole.
Right.
This is all out of memory right now, so if I'm wrong, correct me. But so you can tell 490, 460, we're building it long. Yes, you're going to tune it down. So I prefer to tune it down to where I want it, if that makes sense. And remember, longer, lower. So people get confused on that too. If you've never tuned an antenna, we should probably talk about that. Especially a lot of people getting their general license and playing on this for the first time and building something for the first time. But, you know, longer, lower. What does that mean? Longer. Well, if you're going down to 40 meters or 80 meters, those antennas are longer.
Right.
So when you're trimming this down, realize that when you do 490 divided by frequency megahertz, you're now building it for, say, 14,350.
Right.
And you're chopping it down to where you want that center point to be. So that's where you're shortening it.
The important thing to remember is you're building an antenna that is either a full wavelength, a half wavelength, or a quarter wavelength. There's other wavelengths that you can work on, but that's most of the time. You know, most of the time. There you go. There's your contraband.
I know it's your butterfly thing. I've seen you flip it around. I've watched you do it. I go, oh, I'll have to borrow that from Josh.
So that's 160 meters means half wave 160, right? Divide, that's 80 feet. 80 meters. 80 meters. Right? So 80 meters, quarter 80 meters is still
240 feet.
240 feet of wire that you're putting up.
Too
right?
much.
That's a lot.
And that's why I don't do, 40's pushing it.
Right.
But I am not doing 80 meters on a summit because I don't have the space on most of these summits to set up an 80 meter wire.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these things are pinnacles. The last one I just did in Palm Springs, I'm working on the video right now, literally was a pinnacle. It was just flat. It was actually a nice little summit.
Yeah.
But for one point, it was kind of it was some work.
Yeah.
More than ours, by the way.
And also, those bands are better at nighttime anyway.
Correct.
So your meat and potatoes is generally 20, right?
For soda, that's the bread and butter band, or 30 if you're into CW, of course. A lot of guys are doing the 30 meter CW.
Oh, digital would kill it on 30.
Digital kills it anywhere because it's like CW is such a narrow band.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that answers the question on the thing. But so let's go back to which frequency, because I see here what frequency does one actually use when doing soda on a summit or when trying to contact an activator. Further up on the band is the general rule of thumb. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is in some of my videos that showed, I had learned the hard way. I just went, sideband, whatever. And I was I cut it to the center. And these are mistakes I've made, I'm sharing with you. But you'll get the digital guys down in the sideband portion from like 14,225 to 14,335-ish,
Yep.
And you're like, what the heck, man? What are these guys jamming me for?
Right.
Remember? Some of my videos show that. So you want to get up past that because the upper part of the band is a little more vacant. So if you're at 14,275 to even 14,3, whatever, you're in the right zone if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for soda stuff, you want to get out of where all the call frequencies are, out of where the data frequencies are, away from all the contesting stuff. If that's it, you want to stay away from all that stuff.
Yeah, if you only plan on using phone, if you're only single sideband, then pick whatever frequency you use the most if you do activate, or just go in the middle of the phone band and start with that. That's going to be way better than going somewhere in the middle of the band.
Right.
Because you're going to lose some. Again, if you're talking a KX2 or a KX3 or what's the tuner they make for the 815, 818, 817?
The Z100, I think.
Yeah, like the Z100. They'll tune any of this as long as you got it good for whatever. If you followed the 490 divided by the megahertz you want to operate on, and you cut it to the right lengths and you tune it, your tuner will take care of the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Generally.
Well, because even when I go beyond the center of the band, I'm only at 1.5, 1.6, which you don't even need a tuner for that.
Correct.
But, and then, but the one thing I think every ham should invest in is an analyzer. You have an analyzer? You can show me what an analyzer looks like?
Yeah, I do. Can you grab it? It's right behind you.
Where is it? Which one do you have?
Right there.
MFJ one, right?
No.
Good.
Rig analyzer.
Oh, that's right. You got the rig expert.
I got
this is another one. And I've got the... I
got the sweet one.
Mine is the U-Kits.
Oh yeah, that's the digital screen, right?
Yeah, it's like this big.
Yeah, they're cool.
And what's cool about it, I think yours does it too, is it'll show you the dip.
It's gonna.
Is it gonna pop up? Oh, because the green screen thing.
I don't have. Well, no, it's not gonna show. I could grab a dummy load and connect it to it, but I obviously don't have an antenna connected to this. Is there anybody that was calling just a second ago on 20 meters? By the way, on 14.260, I thought I heard some voice. If you are calling, please send a comment first because we're talking kind of loud. But anyway, with these guys, it'll show you the graph of the band. It'll show you basically, you can tell these to center the band, or you can set the center point, and it will show you where the dip is. And then going to what Jerry was saying, longer's lower. If you lengthen it, you're going to move it to the lower side of the megahertz. So if you lengthen the antenna, right, if you take that folded over end and start to lengthen it out, it's going to make it more towards the low side of the megahertz. That's going to bring it in if you want, bring it to the left versus bring it to the right, that center point. right? As you play around with that, is that the right way of saying it? I think so.
Well, I would maybe let me take it.
I'm overcomplicating it. Go ahead.
Because generally you don't make an antenna longer once you've cut it. You're generally making it shorter.
I'm talking about with the extra pieces you've got on that guy. You could make it longer.
Yeah, well, there are some people. Actually, Tony has one. It's the 4020, and what they do is they plug in like an extension, if you will, to go from 40 to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically you have a 20-meter cut section, and then on there's a couple barrel connectors, and then they just make it they add the length to make it a 40-meter length. And I still got to try that antenna. I just got to find I want to put it at my house and try it there. After our little test last week or whatever it was, I need to try something different.
Yeah.
So anyways, I would just say, yeah, you're just moving that around. But if it's too far up, you want to move it, hey, you know what? Just start playing with it. That's why you get to bend those ends over.
Right.
And then you'll see, it's like, well, what happened there? That's why you bend it over and don't cut first. Remember, it's measure twice, cut once. You know what I mean? So you bend those ends over and say, okay, what happened now? Oh, wow, I'm way there. It's too far. All right, bring it back a little bit.
Right.
And then you play with it. Once you get to where you want it, boom.
Lock it in.
You know, give yourself. Don't cut it right on that bend.
No, yeah.
Give yourself at least an inch there, but mark where it's supposed to be cut.
And you still use the shrink wrap and
you can do all kinds of stuff.
Zip tie it, make it tight so you don't drop it.
But I think every ham should have an analyzer if possible. Now some are expensive, but you know
this one's kind of expensive.
And honestly, when it comes to
UKIT's
that
$100, right? Or around 120.
I don't remember. I think it was more than. I think it's close to 2.
Is it?
They have a couple different ones.
Yeah, it's nice. This I think was like $400.
Yeah, that's an expensive one. But some of these do all kinds of cool things.
Does
like they'll find out.
It'll do 70 centimeter.
Really?
No, I'm sorry. No, it'll do 2 meters.
2 meters. Okay.
That's as far as.
See, I didn't buy that one. I only did. I think I did 1.8 to 10 meters. I think.
Which is really all you need.
I don't build 2-meter antennas. I buy them. You know
right.
I mean?
And a 2-meter SWR meter is cheap. You can get those. Go to a swap meet. Any ham swap meet will have those things. You can get those for practically nothing. That's generally all you need.
So, all right, where else were we at here?
Tom, there's.
I was looking over on this side.
I don't know if you finished that one. That was the only soda related.
Yeah, well, only thing I was going to say there is it looks like Raymond wants to do this and go to the White Mountains and freaking rock on, man. The White Mountains, if they're the same White Mountains here in California that I'm thinking they are, yeah, that's pretty epic. I know I want to go there. So, cool. I hope you let us know in advance. On that, maybe we should talk about something real quick. Soda watch.
Yeah.
And spotting. So this antenna is great, but if you don't spot, forget about it. People have to know you're out there. There's a community of people that will look for you if they know you're there. And I talked about it in one of my videos. I talked about the difference between alerting and spotting.
Yes.
Alerting, hey, tomorrow, guys, I'm going out. I just give you an alert. I put it on there, and it'll tick up on the feed line. As you can see, he's got up on the screen. You can see all the alerts and the spots. So click alerts on that, or scroll down. You should see the alerts. Those are the spots. Wow, that's a lot of spots. No, you're just on spots then, huh?
Yeah.
Go to, where's it at here?
You're not logged in.
Spots. 160 spots in the last 12 hours.
I'm not going to do my login right now.
Yeah, no. I don't blame you. But that'll break it out, and it'll show you alerts and spots, and it'll tell you where everything's at.
Alerts are like the day before.
Yeah.
Some length of time before that. But spots are like when you're there or when you're about to be there.
Spots are Twitter. Yeah, spots are Twitter.
There you
That's
go.
how I could put it, you know? And that I use Twitter. Obviously, you guys probably know that. I use Twitter. I put it out there.
Yep.
If I have cell service.
Yep.
I spot using SodaGo if I have it.
Yep.
I spot via APRS. That usually is my go-to. That seems to work really well.
Yeah, you do that. That I haven't got that worked out on my my Kenwood yet, but I need to do that.
Yeah, well, let's get that thing going, man. You'll like that. And so the other thing, like when I went up and I did a Trail Peak in one of my other videos.
Yep.
I was way deep in the woods, like by Mount Whitney, White Mountains area. So Ray, you might want to think about this. Make sure you go in and put alerts in, and that way, and put a few in. Put one at like 10 o'clock. Put one in at 11 o'clock. Put one in at 12 o'clock. Because and then you need to be around those frequencies. I mean, that's the tough thing about an alert. Is you just don't know what frequency you can be on. You could get there, all of a sudden there's a full-on net going on there. That's why you want to be on the upper part of the band.
Yep.
You know, so that you're telling some of those regular chasers like Gary and Martha and Tommy and these other guys out there that are going to look for you, especially on the White Mountains. People are going to look for you there because there's some big points out there. 10 points max you can get, and they're that area's covered with them. But your APRs may not work out there.
Oh, that's true.
Because there's not a lot of 2-meter machines out there that I know of, and where they are, depending on where you're at, that's a haul. That's a stretch.
So that's also an interesting point.
I hear somebody.
I hear somebody.
Who's that?
while we're waiting on that, also good to keep in mind that if you do get somebody that you make a contact with, ask them to put out a spot for you.
Yeah, definitely. If they find you on the Soda Watch, they will more than likely ask or they'll respot you, which is God's work. You know, I mean, because spotting is where it's at. If you don't spot, you never know.
CQ
Let's
for
see here.
Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu. CQ
I'm
for
looking
Kilo
at
India 6
comments right
November
now while
Alpha
he's doing
Zulu.
that.
So Tom asked one about
Let me see.
AM.
Okay, so
No, but he'll tell you more about that.
any meaning soda ever use amplitude modulation or does the power requirements preclude this motor?
CQ for Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu. CQ for Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu.
The answer, Tom, on AM, no. I've never used AM in 20 years of being a ham.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is a dying thing, I think. There's not a lot. I'd love to see it come back just for fun.
Oh. Kilo Echo 6 Mike Delta? Was that?
Kilo Echo 6 Mike Delta stroke AG. Somebody just got their general.
You heard that?
Yeah. So it's probably one of your guys just got general. Say it again. Say call sign again.
Say your call sign again. I think I got most of it. Maybe he can't hear me.
Can I see your mouse? You alright with that?
Yeah, go for it.
Just scroll up a little bit.
Get all this stuff out of there. This is Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu to the last station. I can hear you. I just call again. I guess I'll go down under.
Echo Mike Delta.
Kilo Echo 6 Mike Delta.
No, it was just Kilo 6 Echo Mike Delta.
Kilo 6 Mike Delta.
Kilo 6 Echo Mike Delta is what I
Kilo
heard.
6 Echo Mike Delta.
EMD.
Kilo 6 Echo Mike Delta. This is Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu. Yeah, I got you. Copy. That was about a 3-5. It looks like 3-5. No, you're fading out on me. No, getting that fade.
Now, what time is it? Might want to jump to 40
6,
instead.
Mike Delta. Kilo Echo. What was it? Kilo Echo 6? Mike.
Kilo 6 Echo Mike Delta. K6 EMD.
K6 EMD. Got it. Okay, copy. Yeah, good call. You're the first call on HF that I think I've done on a live stream. So congratulations. Appreciate that. This is Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu 730.
Okay, I understand this is your first call on HF for tonight. I can barely read you. I'm going to call it quick for tonight on this band, but I'm going to call this a good speaker. And I'm going to log it in on QRZ. This is Kilo 6 Echo Mike Delta.
I'm looking to see if he was on here. How should it be best to ground the antenna or just have a ground leash?
You don't need to at the dipole.
Yeah, I don't ground it. Caesar asked a question a little bit ago. Sorry, Caesar, we're trying to get back to some of these other questions about how to ground the antenna. Here's what I say: I don't ever ground it. You're on a summit. Watch the weather. If the weather gets stupid, bail out.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be hanging up there, doing the Ben Franklin.
I need my last contact.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Ben Franklin.
Yeah,
That's not a cool dance to do on your own.
Yeah,
so.
but except you're the kite.
Exactly.
You're not the guy with the key.
Let's see here. What else we got here? We kind of got that one already.
It was Dominic. Okay, excellent. Dominic's very active on the Discord. Helps me out a lot, so appreciate that. Dominic, awesome. Glad we got that contact. There he is, Steve. All right. K6 EMD/AG. Congratulations on the /AG. I think you said QRZ is where you do your logs, so I'll throw something on there too.
So somebody is Mike R. What reflector/X reflector usually hang out for D-Star? Well, I'm new on D-Star.
Oh, you got
I got my 5100 in,
yeah.
So yeah, I'm on D-Star right now.
Yep.
Right now, one of the primary bands that I have it on all the time is the Delta 03 and the Papa machine at Santiago Peak, and you can look it up that way.
They have DMR too.
I will. Yeah, I guess it's DMR. I'm not DMR. I'm D-Star, but yeah, I guess they do have both, right? I do have this weekend. We're doing some videos on that on D-Star on my 5100 because I had a couple things I learned that kind of pulled what little bit of hair left I have out. I mean.
it can be frustrating.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of really good help on it, believe it or not. There's just not, you know?
D-Star's, I've heard D-Star's a little bit easier even than DMR to get set up.
Well, my understanding is, you know, because the other stuff I use, we'll say similar related radios for DMR, is that DMR is your commercial grade radios.
Right.
That, allegedly they have better sound. But, you know, it's kind of like a Baofeng of digital.
It's the Baofeng of digital. Yeah.
You got to program it or whatever with the cables and stuff.
You really have to program it. You got to. Well, you can get code plugs, like the Papa system does have a code plug, and it's radio dependent though. It's radio dependent, and you have to get the software that's based on your company provider, like Redivis or TYT or whatever. Yeah,
so I don't know too much about DMR other than what we just talked about. That's the best way. And then there's Fusion is the other one, which is Yaesu. And I just don't see that one be that active from everything I did find on the internet.
No.
And some of the speeches was that, you know, they had these great high hopes. We promised we could do this. Giving away machines to make repeaters. And
right.
It just hasn't taken ground. So D-Star is where it's at if you're thinking about it. But to answer the question, I'm on Santiago Peak on the B1. And you'll see some of the videos, and you'll see my stuff on there on my channel later on about which ones, because I don't have that call sign memorized right now. What else did you have other things on here? I was just trying to catch up with some.
No.
Did you all caught up or what?
You can click that little blue arrow and it'll take you down to the bottom.
Oh wait, would need a vertical. Somebody else talking about that.
What vertical?
So I use 490 for feed line length. 490 by megahertz velocity equals red line length.
Flying.
What does this mean? That's just somebody's tagged you.
Oh yeah, they use my @ symbol.
Okay, and I think we were pretty much almost there, right?
Yeah. So Steve was the one that did the contact. So way to go,
cool.
Steve.
That was Steve Herdner? Ah, cool. Yeah.
I think
Funny
so.
story, Steve. I have to tell you, when your little icon there first popped, I was like, dude, what's this guy's problem?
Yeah, why is he so bad?
Yeah, what's he so angry about? And then I thought, oh, check that out, man.
Yeah, that's just his avatar.
Yeah, it's cool.
Great. I still do that. I get like an instant like, oh man, what's this guy's deal?
Yeah, and it makes me look, you know. So Steve, you're getting noticed. It's working for you, buddy.
Have you seen the avatar where it looks like a human hair?
Yes.
And you blow on your screen?
Yes.
Right?
I'm wiping it.
I hate that.
There's a guy on one of the soda Facebook pages that has that. And I'm like, oh, dude. And it gets me every time.
Every time.
Yeah, crazy.
There's one that was like an animated spider. That was another one that messed people up. Because it's on a white background, too.
All right, what else we got here?
Well, we got a fun thing. So this is over on the Ham Radio Crash Course side. And I'm not going to do prizes or anything today because I want a better showing of this. So we're gonna do this kind of live. Oh, where did I put it? Don't want to look at that.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Here we go. So we asked for people to submit their ham shacks, and so this guy looks like a CBer. I see Boomer in the background.
Boomer. Hey, that's Tony's dog, dude. Tony, your dog's got a radio.
Yeah.
Made after him.
So I saw that. I'm like, all right. So the idea here is there's a post. I think what I want to do, if you scroll down, it's going to be a post from me that says...
Look at this. Hold on a minute. Look at this. He took a radio and he mounted it inside of a tower.
Yeah. Isn't that smart? Because you could drive the power straight to it.
Wow.
Because it's DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
All right, that's a good idea. And then he's got a radio stand for another radio. I don't know. That looked 28, so I imagine it's CB probably.
It's CB or it's... No, CB.
The chicken band, right?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Also known as 11 meter. For those people that aren't aware that when you hear people talk about 11 meter band, all the new techs, it's the CB band. And the reason why that is the CB band is in what would be the 11 meter zone of 28.5 something or whatever it is. So when you hear 11 meter, CB.
There it is.
Yep. And you can do sideband on 11 meters too, just like you can on VHF Marine stuff. There's some sideband things too. So there are a lot of different modes out there.
It's not all bad.
No. Well, according to...
No. Depending on who you ask. So I didn't grow up with CB. I'm like one of those technicians that came to ham radio via Boy Scouts and via emergency preparedness purely. Never had any CB experience or involvement or anything. A lot of people did, though, in the last 20, 30 years, right?
I played with it as a kid, and a little bit, that's jeeping, I did it, but, I got frustrated with it because of... the shenanigans, one, and two, the lack of range, and you're not allowed to put more any power
range is if you're legal.
Exactly. So, and if you don't know, people, CBs come stock at 5 watts max per the FCC rules on that band. But because they're in the 11 meter band, just think a 10 meter or an HF amp will work. I should be telling you all this stuff.
No, yeah.
But people are not supposed to do that, but they do it anyway, and it's illegal. So you
So
don't
much
want
so-
to have the FCC paper tiger coming after you.
Yeah. Speaking of that one guy, the California dude, they heard his appeal to try and change judges. It was this week.
Oh, was
and
it?
they denied
For
him.
a change of venue?
They wanted to change the judge because he says the judge was prejudiced against him.
Yeah, or a change of okay.
Yeah. I guess you could still have the same venue and just change the judge.
Yeah, I
Just
suppose.
depends on how big the venue is.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
People's Court.
we're just going to show the pictures. This is just what we're going to do is I'm going to compile all of them and we're going to figure out a way to vote on which ones we all think is the best one, and then that person's going to get a prize. So, new ham, Tim. I think he was just trying to get the Jerry vote.
Hold on, did you see this?
No.
I believe Steve was using a zip cord antenna. No way. Can you confirm that for us, Steve?
Yeah, really, was it?
If it was, let us know, Steve.
So, Tom, I was going to do a coffee espresso thing today, but kind of last minute, Jerry sent me a message like, hey, how far are you from Disneyland? And so he
I invited myself, but I brought beer.
No, yeah,
I
yeah.
did bring beer.
Welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Welcome anytime. For most
That's
most
a nice
hams.
looking radio right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I really like those.
I know some guy who has one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Quite
Oh,
good.
look at that. He even has it on the right frequency. He's got an APRS going right there.
Yeah. You can't. Where do you get those now?
What's that?
Used?
Yeah,
Used.
I guess. I mean,
Used.
I honestly, because I have mine. I didn't. Well, it wasn't in the market looking.
Right.
I was telling everybody about it, and they're like, "Hey, we can't find it. What's the next best thing?" I'm like, "What?"
There isn't.
And-
there's not a spiritual successor to that. The whatever that F2DR one.
F2DR that Kevin uses, W6RIP uses
Which
that.
seems nice, but that doesn't seem like the successor to that.
See, this one, and I had an old Yaesu FT1500M, and that is a mil-spec 2 meter only. I think it was 75 watts, bulletproof radio.
Yeah.
Just like the VX8, waterproof, mil-spec, the whole nine. I had it mounted on the fender of my ATV. I was out in the mud, deer hunting, all kinds of stuff. I would power wash my whole thing, including the radio. I'm like, let's just see.
Mm-hmm.
Work like a charm. Never skipped a beat. So when I saw this one with the submersible and the whole, the ruggedness to it, I was like, I'm in.
So I do have to say, of the top 3 manufacturers, Yaesu is the most outdoor friendly radio. It seems like they have the most submersible options. They're the most IPV.
Oh, IP 9000.
Yeah. They've got more IS 9000.
Yeah.
They have more compliant radios, more
The
mil-spec
zip cord's
stuff.
not IS 9000.
No,
5000 maybe.
maybe. It's got it's got exposed wire connectors. I'm pretty sure that you got to be like mil standard
Cold
connectors.
standard
Yeah.
But, I think you're right. I think the Yaesu, is probably. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. That's a good. I mean, looking back on my experience, I've had ICOM, Yaesu, and Kenwood, and now Elecraft. And I think the Yaesu is probably the most durable radio I've ever owned.
I wouldn't worry about splashing it or getting it dirty or whatever. And
I take this on my boat because if I have to jump in the water and take it, it also has all the VHF marine bands in it too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like perfect.
Somebody was replying to K9R. Here's this chat. That's probably easier
I
for
can see
you.
it better. I don't see Steve answering about the antenna. That was him.
Yeah.
Angry face. Okay, hold on. My guard can't be picked up if you do it. Okay. Oh, somebody's selling something. Did you highlight that for a reason?
Yeah, because I think somebody replied to him saying, "Good luck selling it." Good luck selling those rigs, Mike R.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that radio, so I don't know.
Well, the 4100 is the little brother to the 5100, and the 880 is an older one, I think. But yeah, that 5100 is money.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we get Tony's kind of like 99% there. And Tony, man, I really hope we get that figured soon. It was good talking to you on the way home on D-Stars. That's what's cool about it. So
that is nice.
It's like HF mobile
for
without all the stupid
for technicians.
antennas.
For technicians, basically,
Exactly.
right? It's HF for technicians.
Exactly.
But it requires the internet.
No, it requires you to connect to a machine that has the internet.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you lost the internet, that talk group would only work in your local repeater. You only would be able to the area of effect
Correct.
of
Yeah,
that repeater.
I hear why you're saying that.
Yeah.
For emergency stuff, HF is still the best option for getting out beyond the bursting zone, if you will.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely for stuff we're doing right now, like Tony and I QSOing back and forth, setting up skids.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I would. Hey everybody, get a D-Star radio and let's all talk. You know why? Because I'm calling it Dead Star. It's quiet out there. I'm probably gonna upset a few people, but I'm not kidding, man. Even Tony and I were talking about it. And it's very quiet. We need to stir it up.
I have,
Simplex, stir it up.
I don't have a mobile in my new commuter car.
Get a 5100.
There you go.
Go digital.
How much
MFJ doesn't make it.
How much are they? Yeah.
$459.
Oh, sorry.
Before the 30th.
We're sorry. Shouldn't be asking these questions. Sorry.
This is your channel, not mine.
Never knew who's watching.
That's true. They are $99.95.
It was Baofeng prices.
Baofeng prices. Yeah, I had 400.
I bought 4. This one though, this is pretty sweet.
Is that? Holy cow!
I don't know what that is. That looks like a marine band radio almost.
It's like a plastic.
Or it's a fire truck. I think this might be a fire radio.
I don't know, but look at that. That's like a canvas there. That's a Jeep. That's
yeah,
got to be a Jeep. Look at the visors.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that clip thing, man.
Yeah, it's mounted
cool.
above the mirror.
Yeah, I love seeing these
snazzy.
ideas. Yeah, and look, that's just a regular bracket he's got on there.
But it's like I don't know what the mount, how it works. But I was like, that's pretty ingenious.
Got this is the windshield thing. It looks like he's got it somehow fastened around that. I would hope it's more secure than
that. Looks like canvas, though. I hate to think that he's...
The red part's not, but
no,
this is. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah.
Look, obviously he's into painting it, because look, he's painting or
yeah, so this is his Baofeng collection. Those are actual rubber...
It's a Baofeng mobile. Tony, are you being serious?
Yeah. Those are silicone covers. These red and this black thing.
Okay. So that's what you do when you drop your Baofeng. You have it in a silicone cover.
The silicone cover costs half of the radio.
I was gonna say I thought you didn't care.
Just throw it in the lake and buy another one.
You know what? I might buy a Baofeng and just I don't want to litter. I was gonna say, then I was gonna throw it off a cliff to just say I did.
Right.
Just say, hey, I'm gonna use this once.
It makes your hike your hike down is lighter. Then.
That's right.
It's just
how much
disposable.
Weigh? I don't even know.
Less than a pound, but it's like water. You drink the water when you're on the peak, so it makes it easier to hike down. So you use the radio on the way up, and then when you're done, you throw it off.
It's like hitting golf balls off the mountain.
Right, exactly. Okay, so this one, I like this one. I like this one because he's rocking the card table.
And the band plan. Like, where do I go from here?
Yeah, I like it. And he's working FT8.
And he's got some decent headphones there.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
He might be an air traveler.
Yeah, and you know what? Batman is cool. I do like Batman.
You good with the Black Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm good. Dude, I gotta drive home, man.
You don't want to spend the night?
Yeah, no, I gotta pick up my kid. I'll have to get an Uber for him to come here.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have 4 teenage girls and me here sleeping on your couch.
Yeah, well, I get the 2 little kids, they'd like that.
All right. That's funny, Tony.
Okay, what else we got? So Jeremy built this power supply, put it in like a banker's box, which is pretty sweet. I like the ingenuity there.
Hey, by the way, that reminds me, K8MRD. I watched one of his videos the other day, and did you see that one? I got to give you a plug. I think tell us your first name too. I think it's Mike, right? But him and his buddy, they go to a park, and it's hilarious. It's actually a really funny video, and they set all this stuff up. And he's totally making fun of a soda guy. He's like, "Woo, it's hardwired like 10 feet to the picnic table."
Yeah.
it was pretty funny. It cracked me up.
It's hard out there.
They're in Michigan. It sounded like you were having a good time.
Yeah.
Man. That was actually really cool.
That's like the Spark guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it reminded me of. It was like, woo, like YPA. Yeah. All right, what else we got here?
So this one's pretty good. Got it. Look at that monitor.
You know, when I saw a monitor, some of the video editing stuff I was watching, they had a 32-inch curved monitor.
Yeah.
For editing video,
nuts.
So you have one screen to use your Adobe Premiere Pro or whatever. Oh, yeah, that's pretty epic. I tried running it on my
I don't know that
TV,
I could,
but it didn't work.
I don't know that I could use that much space. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't just be one unbroken video. You know what I mean?
Well, you have this thing. This thing is a monster. I have a 15-inch or whatever it is MacBook Pro, which works great.
And that's what you edit on?
But I'm using that little screen.
Well, that's tough.
I know.
Tougher. So this is cool. It looks like a mobile with 2 Baofengs. You're gonna see a lot of Baofengs. Hang on.
I know. I'm sure.
TYT though. This is Carrie. Carrie's got a same TYT that I have in the Xterra.
TYT is Tentec, right? Is it the same thing? Is that
maybe? I don't think so.
It used to be.
I don't think so. It's a Chinese company, but Tentec might have been too. I don't know. Not originally, anyway. That's a copy of the Yaesu 9800. It's a quad band. It's only FM, but it's quad band. So it does 10 meter and 6 meter FM.
Oh,
which is kind of wacky.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's not a lot of repeaters on 6 meter and 10 meter.
If you got a second, let's talk about that. If you could say, hey, manufacturer, build this radio for mobile, what would you put in it?
Single sideband.
Okay, but what bands?
Oh, band.
You know, quad band, tri-band, dual band, sideband only. What would you envision as the ultimate mobile radio?
I guess the problem is the size, right, and the footprint. Because once you start adding more stuff into it, then you start to increase the size.
Not necessarily. You just said that thing's what, a quad band?
Yeah, quad band, but FM only.
Right. So what's
it
it going to take?
No other mode.
Look how small my look at my my KX2. Look how tiny that is, and that's 10 through
SDR.
80.
That's SDR.
True.
I guess if we want to go
cares?
down that, an SDR mobile that's got everything. Yeah. You could put anything on an SDR and make it mobile.
Pick your top bands that you would want mobile, and why.
20, 40, 80 are my primary bands.
For mobile?
No, but for primary bands.
Yeah.
That I use the most.
All right.
For mobile, though, you definitely have to have 2 meter, 70 centimeter. And I use 70 centimeter more than I use 2 meter.
Me too.
Aside from simplex. I use 2 meter simplex.
VHF simplex. I don't use simplex UHF. Yeah.
But I really like APRS.
Mm-hmm.
So I like having the GPS capability in the radio or some kind of attachment to the radio.
Okay.
And so that would mean 2 meters.
Or D-Star.
Does it do APRS?
It overlays onto APRS.
So it's using that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's called DPRS, which it basically interfaces with APRS, and that's one of the things I'm going to do a video on this weekend is how to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're kind of getting a little off track. But when I was looking at this radio, you mentioned a couple bands, and I'll go back to D-Star later if you want. But before I had this D-Star radio, I liked the APRS, and that's why I like this D-Star thing. But I would think 10 meters, 6 meters, VHF, UHF, sideband, FM. And the reason why I say that is I could run 2 antennas, dual bander, VHF, UHF, and then something for 6 and 10 that I could probably tune with like a resonator, small resonator, and that way it's not too big.
It's just, do you actually get on 6 meter and 10 meter?
No, I would focus more on 10. I would 10, yes, absolutely. Mobile.
Do you?
Well, 10's basically 11.
That's true.
And 10 during the day is not bad.
That's true.
And there's such a huge band. Plus, you have 10 meter FM repeaters. This is all tech stuff too. So you have 10 meter repeaters that don't get used, as far as I know. I never go.
I don't even know they exist anymore.
They do.
There's a couple.
And
of
there's
them
even 6 meter repeaters around here too.
That's wild.
I know, but nobody uses them.
Right.
You know,
right.
And that's kind of what I'm saying is.
Right.
I would just think for a mobile application, 10 being as big as of an antenna as I'd ever want. So you go from 10 to 2, and then you put sideband in there.
I definitely like the sideband. And I like the APRS, and you got to have the FM.
And dual VFOs in a minimum, if not triple VFOs. Can you imagine a triple VFO?
Yeah, because if
an
you
HF and then a VHF UHF, at least, or if you had one on APRS.
Yeah.
You had one on APRS, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you have one, like almost a dedicated radio just for APRS. Just that's it. It doesn't
in the
do
radio.
anything
I don't
other
want
than
another
else.
radio in
it. Yeah,
because you're not
saying.
doing anything
no,
with
that's
it.
What
It's
I'm
doing
saying.
itself.
Yeah. So you've got it's like a like you said, tri-simplex. You got its own little device for modulating, demodulating APRS, period.
Right.
And then you've got the radio operations on the side.
And that's what's cool about the D-Star thing is that's exactly what happens. On the 5100, it has a built-in GPS in it. And the 7100, you can add the antenna to it to make it work. But yeah, as you're going, it's basically putting all that in there for you.
Mike R is saying DPRS, I believe, is one-way only, not two-way.
As far as what, Mike?
I don't know. Well, so see, that's like messaging, maybe? Is he talking messaging?
Okay, so I haven't figured out messaging yet. But what I do know is that I'm able to, when you do it a couple different ways, you have to be connected to the gateway, and I'm going to go over this in my repeater, but I'll tease it here. There's one thing, and you have to either key down or set a beacon, and there's some party foul manners with setting a beacon, because it puts out on the machine. It's kind of like what the guys do.
You lock down a repeater?
Well, only for a second. You're sending a transmission.
Yeah.
But it's no different than those guys start pumping out that
P25?
On PHX machine.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Dude, we're talking here. You know?
Well, that was my fax machine. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he hasn't answered yet about one way what he meant by that messaging. I tried messaging. I have the APRS TX app on my phone. Oh, that's my wife texting. But I tried sending myself a message, and it didn't work. So I don't know. I'm still going to kind of try to work through the messaging aspects of it.
So that was one thing. The reason. So when I was picking HTs, I went with the D72A over the Yaesu, which had I had my general at that time, I would have got the Yaesu, because I would have been out doing SOTA, QRP stuff. So that would have been better to have the submersible, weather-capable radio. But I went with the D72A because it's got the onboard TNC. So you can USB connection to a computer, and you can use the radio to pull in all that data and operate off the TNC on a laptop.
Yeah.
So that on a mobile would be sweet. Being able to hook a computer up to it, that would be sweet. I would want that capability.
I mean, you kind of want it all. But...
Right, well, that was what I'm saying, yeah.
You can't have it all. You got to
play the Highlander.
You got to put limitation on yourself to enjoy it.
I'm going to play the Highlander song.
That's right.
I want it all.
All right, so Mike's saying no text messages. That's a download. Yeah, okay. And that's the stuff I'll be exploring. So that's kind of good to know. Like I said, I tried that this weekend or earlier this weekend. It didn't really work, but that's okay. I have a VX8 that I can still send messages. You know, the battery doesn't die.
Somebody's asking. Joe says I'm asking for someone to donate some HF radio equipment to me as I'm on a fixed income. So go join a radio club. Honestly, go join a radio club, a proper ham radio club. There's guys that have 2 boat anchors they're not using, and they'll probably let you use it on extended loan. I would go that route, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Did you have any information about digital SSTV? Yeah. What do you want to know? So the ISS just did their whole... Yeah, I don't know where the fly came from.
No see 'em. I don't know. Maybe I brought it in.
They were doing all the Russian cosmonauts in the ISS. They go up every year for this astronauts week. They celebrate astronauts for like a week in Russia, and they just downlink SSTV. So all I did was hooked up my digital recorder that I do soda stuff like you have.
Yeah.
Hooked it up to the back of my VHF UHF radio with my big vertical that I got outside. I just downlinked the noise, download, and then sent it to my phone, sent it to my app on my computer, and decoded it. Hell yeah! I still have it. I got the file right now. So and then you just fixed the slant. Came out like a
That's
Russian
cool.
astronauts.
I've never done that. I haven't done any SSTV or what's the other one called?
FT8.
I've done none of that stuff.
Okay.
Well, there's slow scan TV and fast scan TV. So yeah, I haven't done any digital stuff. I tried with you doing a little bit of digital when we tried that a week or so ago.
Yeah. So I had worked on that a couple of days after working with you, and it sounds like we were doing something wrong. Either my sending CW to you were in a different mode than I was at, so you wouldn't be able to decode it. Because I think they had a KX32, and they were telling me that there's different modes you have to be in. If you're talking CW to CW through a computer, you use a different mode than if you're talking CW to a computer versus back in. Anyway, I didn't fully understand it.
Wow, yeah. See, there's so much thing about ham radio to learn and look up.
Yep.
I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about.
We forgot to... Let me talk about the rod really quick. My activations as of late was with that fiberglass rod. So Jerry actually has a link on his website. This one I've had this for a while. This is an old Japanese Tenkara rod. I know, right? But it's got crazy like Japanese characters or Chinese characters on it. Jerry's got one on his store, which is... You can plug it if you want. Your website?
Sure. Yeah, just HQD, KG6HQD.US, I should say. And there's a bunch of different stuff on there. So
anyway,
always adding new stuff. Go ahead.
So this one is is yours carbon fiber too?
Huh?
Yeah.
So let me see the front of this. I think it's the same exact, dude.
Is it?
Because it has this writing on there too.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what it says exactly. I'd have to look at it because
I don't know where I got this.
You know what? I'll pull it up on my Amazon store right now or my website.
So all I did was I took out the thinnest piece, which you can barely even see this on camera. But there's this little floppy felty thing, which you don't need because you can't attach an antenna to that. So I'm ditching that, and it just leaves me with this piece that's like basically a broken tip from a fishing rod. So I'm just going to glue one of the eyelets onto this, and then that will be how I connect the antenna to the top of the rod. And that's it. And then this goes in my pack.
How tall is that one?
This is 7 meters.
21 feet?
Yeah.
Ish?
Yeah.
Super lightweight.
Yeah.
And it's thinner.
Well, wait, it's either 7 meters or 5 meters.
Does it say?
Yeah, I'm sure it says that right there. Can you read that? I can't read it.
Oh, yeah, it says...
yeah, wait for my wife to get here and you do that.
Yeah, sure. She'll be using this to beat me, huh? Why don't she read it to you then?
She doesn't... She can read Vietnamese, not Chinese.
Well, then what's the big deal?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. We'll get a measuring tape out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
All right, let me see. You got me curious now what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, go to Jerry's website because he's already using... I haven't used this in an activation yet. He's used his. So the one he recommends is
There's a couple guys here that have got it as well.
Tested.
Yeah, it's www.kg6hqd.us. And then you'll see the HQD gear. And I've got other things that I haven't even put on there yet. I'm kind of lazy about that. I don't plug my stuff very much, so thank you for reminding me. I don't even think about it. I mean, other people think about it for me, but...
The way I look at it is if you take the time to review something, or you've actually gone out like you do for... How many activations have you done now? Over 50, well over 50, right?
80 or 90 or something like that.
So, I mean, he's got gear that he's worked through, that he's ditched, and gone to other stuff now because it works better for him. So, take his advice when it comes to this kind of stuff.
So, here's... Well, it was coming up. I had it pulled up.
We should talk about
Come on. What's that?
The Amazon stuff.
Oh, yeah. So here, 5.4 meter bamboo pattern 11 section telescription rod.
So 5.4 is about 17, 18 feet, right?
So let's just say it's 17 feet. But I took that top section out like you did.
Yeah. Okay.
But it doesn't really matter. 15 feet, 17 feet, whatever.
Yeah, just put it up. Who cares?
Yep.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll lash it to a tree. I'll stick it in some rocks. Doesn't matter.
So I think I talked about this in a live stream last week or the week before. Everybody, it's just like taking the test. It's just like everybody says, oh, I'm not going to take the test until I can ace it. I don't want to take the test until I can pass all the questions. Stop that. You pass at 75%, so go take the test. The same thing with antennas. Don't wait for the end-all be-all antenna. Just get something up in the air and start operating, whether it's at your home, whether you go into a park and you're just going to throw a wire into a tree, or you're doing soda or whatever. Just do something. Get something up and out there so you start to build the brain muscles, put little folds in your head kind of thing.
I got lots of those.
Inside, though, in your brain. You want the folds inside.
So I see here, Jason said that's why he likes the D74A HT, which, are you familiar with the D74? So the D74
I have
has
the D72.
So the D74 is
tri-band.
D-Star,
Yes.
tri-band, and APRS.
And it's a TNC.
And $590
I know.
for an HT. That's the only thing I don't like about that.
So here's the problem with radios like that. I'll show it on.
And it's not, in my opinion, as durable as my VX8.
So, well, it's like you knew what I was going to talk about. So this is what a D70. This is what a $500 radio looks like when you kick it down your driveway after you drop it. When you wake up in the morning and you barely have your coffee and you're fooling around before you get into your car and you drop it, you're holding the bag or whatever, and you kick it across the street. But regardless, look at this thing. This thing is a big fat brick, right? The Yaesu's at least got a sleek little design. The 74 is better, and the battery life sucks on this thing. I don't know if the 74 is better than the 72, but the battery life's horrible. Horrible.
Really?
You said yours can go for days.
Yeah, well, that's funny, because I usually have APRS going. I beacon every 3 to 5 minutes. I do have the bigger battery on there. Yeah. And then what I normally do is I have it on 146.52 when I'm hiking in.
Mm-hmm.
The last activation I did, I was on the Papa system, just testing, because I'm testing this Papa system for soda stuff.
Right.
And I was talking a lot on it, too. I'm not going to lie. And I had it all in high power on both bands. And it lasted, I left my truck at, I forget, early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was 6:30 when I turned it on, 6:45 or something like that when I turned it on in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
May sooner. And by 3 o'clock, it went bye-bye when I was hiking out. Now, you can always bring a second battery,
But you were on high power.
All day long.
Beacon
did
5 minutes at a time.
I think it was set on 3. No, you know what? I remember. It was on 1 minute beacon.
Oh, wow. That's
because I was goofing around. I was actually... And the reason why was because another guy hit me up, I think it might have been on YouTube, and he said, hey, man, this battery's terrible on this thing. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I get lots of time.
Oh, no, that was on the Crash Course.
Yeah, exactly. It was
your I asked you to go and...
Right,
yeah,
so I put my beacon on 1 minute.
Yeah, he runs it like crazy,
so I put it on when I got home, like, 1 minute?
Yeah.
What idiot did that? Oh, it was me, and I remembered why. I forgot it was on your on the Crash Course. So I ran it on that last activation on East Twin Peaks for 1 minute beacon, I think it was, and then all day and repeater and 5.2 and contacts and everything else. And I got quite a few hours out of it.
So I'll get half of that battery life with half of what you were doing with this radio.
Ooh.
So
how many milliamps is that battery? That's stock battery?
Yeah, it's a stock battery.
And the one that I am using is the stock battery is, I don't remember on the VX8. I'd have to look. I think
1800.
Okay, that's decent size actually for an HT.
Yeah.
I think the one on my VX8, it's the bigger one, the more. I think it's 2100 milliamps.
Good.
And I think the stock one is 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
I'd have to look on Amazon.
Yeah, you said yours is a bit fatter, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. Not much though. Not much.
All right.
Do you want a Hogarden yet, or are you still drinking?
Well,
that's like drinking. Wow, dude.
This is the black
It's almost
blood
got a little
of
carbonated.
the earth.
Almost, yeah, black, exactly.
You can see it. You're not even well, I just passed the halfway mark. I'm gonna switch to Hogarth just because I'm gonna save some of that for my wife.
Yeah.
She
It's
loves
got a little bit of almost like a carbonation flavor to it or something.
So you got to do the Filipino style.
No, that's when I go like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
Drop the felony.
The Mick Dundee thing. Oh, that ain't a knife.
This is a 9mm.
45.
Yeah. Really? Is that
All right. What else we got? Did we go through all the pictures, by the way?
We did. That's what I'm saying. So go to the Ham Radio Crash Course on Facebook and post your pictures there. Don't just willy-nilly post them because I'm not going to be able to like curate all of them. There's no way I'm going to do that. So find my post. I think I posted it yesterday or before. I'll make it an announcement or something. I'll figure out a better way to do this. I need a better way that everybody can just upload them to one location.
Twitter with the hashtag.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I saw you were doing a hashtag, and that makes people go link up with you on Twitter too. So
Yeah.
that way they get instant stuff like that.
So yeah, do Twitter, and you can reply to me, Hashnasi, or at me, Hashnasi, and then do...
Hashtag what?
Hashtag, just do Ham Radio Crash Course.
There you go. That's what you did
just
anyway.
do Ham Radio Crash Course. Just keep that one going, and then we'll just read through them the next time we do. That's a great idea. Thank you. Okay, so while you guys ask some more questions, because we're going to wrap it up here pretty quickly. We got to go talk to Discord for a little bit. And anyway, Discord chat is always after the chats. This is a bit special, though, because I'm doing it in, Jerry's out here, so we're not going to be out there for too long. But Field Day, are you going to do anything for Field Day?
When is it? June 23rd and 24th.
23rd and 24th.
I usually try to go do summits on the air if I can.
Oh, that's cool.
That's Field Day every day, dude.
That's literally, yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And then I just search and pounce. So I don't set up and call CQ on a frequency when I do soda because you're a QRP station. There's no way. Right. But during Field Day, you say QRP, you actually might get some love.
You get a big fat multiplier though if you're under 5 watts or 5 to lower watts. I was looking at the rules. That's why I was.
But I don't contest. I'm anti-contest.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's not really a contest though.
Yeah. I just don't. It's just hey, it's cool because a lot of people go out and play. Mm-hmm. But I don't track that. Don't. If somebody asks me, hey, where do you log all your stuff? Soda.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's just what I do. But
that's a good point too. That came up a couple of times I've seen in your videos. You can't just log on QRZ or Logbook of the World. You have to log to Soda.
If you're wanting to do an activation, get the Soda points, and be part of what Soda's about, you go and register on the Soda website, and then there you go. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm coming up with a series, if you don't mind. I'm going to put together, it was a request on a video. Somebody said, hey, can you more like some more of the how-to soda stuff? I did the one on how to log, and I did the other one on how to do this. Yep. So I'm going to do, I don't know if I want to do a live stream or how I want to do it just yet, but there's a lot of good questions that are coming out of your channel and some of the comments that I get. Yeah. And I think I'm just going to kind of go through and just start picking apart some of the information. Like, hey, you asked me about bonus points. Like, how do you get bonus points?
The bonus points.
So these are things that people just don't know.
I thought I was going to get them, and I didn't get them. I was all pissed off.
Especially, like, I did one summit, and had I gone, like, just a few days earlier, I got almost twice the amount of points.
Right, so I guess...
got 7 instead of 4 when I lost my dog on that one,
So the simple thing to remember is if it's in a cold climate, bonus points are in the winter. Yeah. And if it's in a hot climate, like a desert, bonus points in the summer.
It's an extreme environment that you're activating.
They make it harder for you. Well, if it's harder to get there, you get more points for going.
You're having to go to the top of San Gorgonio in January.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. You're not talking micro spikes. You're talking crampons and ice axes and some really wild stuff. Conversely, if you're going out in the Mojave Desert, 130 degrees out there in the summer, you're bagging a lot of water with you, and forget that. There's rattlesnakes.
And they're running out there fast too because they're all warmed up.
Yeah, they're like, hey man, there's a guy over there. I'm gonna go bite his ankle.
Yeah.
I'm not a snake guy.
No?
One of my other videos in Norco Hills, I haven't even finished doing that one yet. I didn't tell you this, did I? I was kind of thinking, this is April, it was like 90 degrees a couple weeks ago, right? And then also it got cold again.
Oh, yeah.
But it got real hot, and I took my dog out for that little local quick one, and she goes off into the...
Does she mess with snakes, Kyle?
Well, I don't know. I haven't had her snake proofed yet. She hasn't seen one, so... Anyway, she goes off in this grass area of my Norco. It's all rocky and hilly and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I've had some snake experiences. So I'm like, hey, get back over here. She's got her face stuffed in this little friggin' hole. I'm like, no. So I reached down to pick up a little dirt clod or rock or whatever, just kind of chunk it at her and said, hey, pay attention to me, because she started sniffing. That dirt clod
was a snake. Yeah. It was?
I have a video of it. Dude, I was like a little girl. I reached down.
There was a Ranger Peak, that one in Solvang, which I have to go back to. That was a fun little walk up. there was just a snake chilling on the top. I was like, oh, what's up, buddy? Non-poisonous. I don't care about
that one I
non-poisonous
had too
snake.
is a gopher snare.
Yeah,
yeah. It was a
I don't
gopher
care
snake,
about
but-
that. I don't care about non-poisonous stuff.
Well,
unless it's 18 feet long.
But the thing is, though, is when you're not looking, and then you look down, and the first thing you see,
yeah,
within inches of your
yeah.
hand, you're like, that's.
So Solvang, right? That's where Ranger Peak is. I had back when I was biking all the time, commuting to work on a bike. I took it up there and I was doing their little. That's where the Amgen, the tour of California, went through Solvang.
Okay,
So I'm doing part of the course, and I'm riding along, and just tarantula, like this big.
Really?
I was like, what the?
I've
In
never seen a
Solvang,
tarantula.
California, tarantula, like this big, chilling.
I've only seen tarantulas when I was in the military and I was over in the
Yeah.
Middle East.
Yeah.
I've seen them over there.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a tarantula in the United States.
That and praying mantis. We get a lot of praying mantis.
I do
here.
see those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But those are cool. I'll play.
Oh
with
yeah,
those,
yeah. So covered field day. You said what you're gonna do. Probably do soda.
More than likely, I'll be out doing a summit. What day is it? Well, it's a weekend, so I should be able to do it.
23rd, 24th.
What's this? What else we got on there?
So I think I'm gonna live stream it. I think I'm
really?
gonna live stream
You need to work it right here
12 to no. I'm gonna go outside.
in your backyard.
Yeah. I'm gonna set up.
You gonna put that hat on that you had? That little.
Yeah.
Count?
Yeah. I'm gonna so the streaming, because I'm gonna stay home so I can work off the mains for the computer to do the stream. Because I'm not gonna log. I'm not gonna do anything radio related on that computer. But I'm gonna run my entire station. I'm gonna run the 7300 outside, probably with the big ears or some kind of vertical that I build off of solar panels and batteries, and I'm gonna stream it for I think 12 to 24 hours.
Holy cow!
I think I'm gonna do it live.
Wow.
I'm gonna try
YouTube's
it.
gonna love you and the bandwidth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dakota Batteries was already talking to me about maybe sending me some batteries to help me out on that. By the way, again, there's a coupon code if I should show you that, but grab it. It's a little big for see that crazy blue battery right there?
Oh, behind you.
Yeah,
that's right. I
grab
saw
that
you using
thing.
that in your video. Plug it in.
Yeah, no, it's plugged in. Just pull them off.
Well, you're gonna arc or what?
No. Yeah, did you see this though? I mean, how light it is?
That's light.
Yeah, compared to a SL. Well, yeah, okay.
I'm a weight whore now.
So this battery puts out 20 amps. So
Holy
this will
cow.
run my 7300 at full power.
For how long?
Well, if you're doing 10% TX.
What if you rubber band it like a Migliore?
Yeah. About 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably about 5 to 6 hours. So I would need some kind of solar panel to.
Which I saw in that last video you did. That part 3, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't. I mean, you've never held. You work with SLA. You have an SLA battery, right?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Oh. So there's.
I use lipos.
So that expert power.
So that's much
grab
bigger.
those two. Well, grab the smaller one that's next to it.
Okay, I do have one of these. I
So-
do actually have like 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah. So
Those
this
exact
is
ones.
this is a 5 amp hour battery.
I've never used.
Weighs
Holy cow!
more than. Yeah, weighs more than the Dakota.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
I think I just popped a roid on
This
that one.
this is also. So this is a 20 amp. No, I'm sorry. 12 amp hour.
It's the same as your other one.
Same capacity, same everything. But look at the size of the comparison
Yeah.
and the weight.
This is not a slab, is it? What is this? Oh, it's a lithium
It's
battery.
lithium. Yeah.
Okay, that's much better.
Yeah.
The thing with these, these things though, is you really got to be careful with the charging of
You
them.
can't take them on an airplane.
Yeah.
No. The guy said you can plug it in anything you want. Plug it into a solar charger. It'll handle it.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's why I got that. I was like, can I run this off a solar charger? He's like, absolutely. He's like, just keep the controller under 20 amps. I was like, no problem.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So same thing. Now this costs
That's a lead
$20.
acid battery, yeah.
That costs $100.
Yeah.
Here, put it on your phone.
Yeah. Thanks.
The ultimate silent. Oh, I actually can weigh that with a scale. That's easy to weigh. Here, let me get the scale out.
You
Oop.
keep sending pictures.
They're having fun at
Yeah.
House of the Mouse. Okay, so
Yeah, I
here's the.
What are we doing? Weighing the battery?
Yeah.
Which one?
Let's
The
do them all.
Dakota?
Let's do them all. What's it on? Whoa, hold on. Oh, it's on.
Low battery power.
Are you kidding me?
Yep. Look, it's flashing right there.
I just changed this thing. Okay, never mind. I guess we're not doing that. I thought I just changed this. I've been having a real hard time with batteries recently. You know what it is? It's those batteries I got at that TRW swap meet. Cheap junk batteries. Sorry again.
My wife just said She thinks
Sorry.
she's gonna watch me.
Oh, she's watching. Oh, sorry.
Well, not yet. I'll tell her where.
Tell her where. Oh, I'll say you've been on the whole thing pretty much.
Huh? I know.
I thought you meant like where in the video.
Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna tell her what channel. She'll probably come on. What size wire is it? How much does it weigh? What are we talking about here?
They want to know how much the battery weighs. So
it says
literally swapping
what
batteries
size
right
wire is it though?
now.
How much do I okay that? And then what size wire is it?
Don't know what that means. Clarify your question.
Yeah.
Or your point.
Please help us out there.
Okay.
We got a new battery?
We got a new battery.
All right.
Hold on. Don't.
Yeah. Set the scale.
Where is it? What the heck? Are none of these batteries good?
Got them from MJ.
No, I got them from the.
Oh.
What's it on?
Dead.
It also did low?
It didn't do anything. It came on and went right off.
Oh, jeez.
It says high. I don't know what high was. Oh, we got, wait. Grams.
Okay, hold on. Ounces is what you want.
Ounces. All right. Let's see
Okay,
what it
ounces.
says.
Dakota is 46.75.
28.
Okay, so that's a 10 amp hour. This is a 5 amp hour salt lead acid. 47.35.
40, was that 40.75? Was that one?
This one's 47.35 salt.
So this is a pound and a half, 1.6 pounds.
Okay.
And what
This
was
is half the capacity and weighs the same.
Oh wow.
This is 47.35.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay.
So grab the big mama.
2-ton Tony.
Yeah. This thing's gonna be 3
It's gonna
times.
break your scale, dude.
Yeah. 117 ounces for the.
Let's see how many pounds that is for all of you really smart people. 117.55 divided by 28.5. 4 over 4 pounds. 4.12
Yeah.
pounds.
You wanna hump that?
No.
I'd rather have 4
Nope.
pounds of water.
Tyler here. Tyler.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so, and again, lithium, I mentioned this before you came in, lithium has a flat power line. Salt lead acid, the NiCads, they kind of just constantly go down. They just constantly drop. So, this is good. Anyway.
This is going to be awesome. Guess who said that?
I don't... Oh! You're almost at the end, though.
I know. We're wrapping up.
Oh.
She's funny. She's a ham too, man.
I know. It's very cool. The Baldy video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Timber Mountain. She was yelling at me.
Oh, nice. Well,
And-
go
and
watch that
Baldy,
one.
And
Well,
Cucamonga.
Baldy was nice. She was.
Yeah,
She
but
got
you know-
your daughter's on there too, I think, right?
Not Baldy,
I
but on
got
Cucamonga, she's on there. Yeah. Actually went with Cucamonga and Shell Peak, but she didn't get me on Shell
What
Peak.
was the how far away is Ontario Mountain?
Ontario Peak? It's up there by Cucamonga.
How tall is it? How big is that? Is that a tough one?
Feet? Well, you got to go up Ice House Canyon, and then once you're there, you continue to go straight to Cucamonga, or you go right and you drop down to that campground, and you go up and over to Ontario. That's where I camped.
Is it a
on Ontario.
difficult one?
On a scale of 1
Relative,
to 10,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I would give it, because Ice House Canyon, because of length, and there is a spring up there, I'd give it a 6.5, 7.
Oh, okay.
And because of length, and the canyon's not bad. It's actually pretty decent. I like it. It's a really pretty canyon. Now's a good time to go. It does get loaded up with some traffic. There's a lot of switchbacks.
Okay.
And then you get up there, some trees and covers and stuff like that. But it's nice, dude. I'd do it.
The reason I asked is this morning, that guy that I was texting you the call sign of, that's where he was. He was
on Ontario?
He was on Ontario, and on my Yaesu FT60 when I was taking my kid out on a walk just to go down to grab some coffee, he came booming in.
Yeah, well, Ontario,
Way over.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah,
I mean,
way over S9, and
you
I
were
was like,
on the rim
dude.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking to him just on that 16-inch diamond antenna, and he was like, "You're S9 too." I was like, I don't know. I didn't ask him what antenna he's running, but I gotta pull him up on QRZ.
So, Housewives, this is. Yeah.
What's that?
My wife, I guess she was watching Housewives. She needs to go to bed. Get up early.
Housewives is still on TV.
That's what I'm saying. They should all
She
be
just
in
found
jail.
out about this. Is this a rerun?
No, I don't know what she's doing.
Somebody asked me about geocaches on the air. I've never heard of geocaches on the air, but almost every summit you go to has a geocache or a summit log or whatever. And
Yeah.
I write. I'll put my call sign in it, my YouTube, or I'll throw a card in there. Pack some.
I don't even open
my
them.
business cards.
I did it first, but I
Yeah?
don't even open them anymore.
Yeah. He's got contacts to make.
I got stuff to do. Well, usually I got a timeline, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
true.
It's not that I don't. It's not anything I have against them. I think it's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of like the hiking is worth it on its own.
Yes.
But there's a whole extra layer to the hike, and then now you're here. What do you do now? And then you spend another hour, 2 hours working radio. I call it it's radio biathlon. Is what it is to me. As I jokingly call it, it's radio biathlon. Aside from fox hunting is kind of radio biathlon too. But,
true.
You're hiking all the way out there, and then you got to okay, now I got to calm down, and I got to get real precise and make all these contacts. And you got, it's kind of like a biathlon where you're expected to cross country and then shoot.
Yeah, I'm. When I get there, I'm definitely kind of. All right, what's next? Now I got to do this. Now I got to do that. I got a to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
On top, on top of trying to make the video. I'm trying to make sure my dog doesn't run off.
That is a whole nother thing. People don't understand that. Like, if you just go out and do soda, kudos, do it. Like, absolutely. Now factor in recording video, good quality video, which usually means you're not taking the lightest equipment, possibly a drone. Those all add weight, time, just tons of work, and then you got editing on the back end.
Yeah, the editing takes at least a week usually, if not 10 days, so I'm chipping away at them every night. I chip away a little bit at it, then you got to, try to think of your story and variety and bringing something new to the game and upping your editing skills and, color grading and, all of it,
Yep.
And not boring people, so what are we doing?
Did you read that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
So, what else we got? Are we there?
I think we're there. I will say one thing. Let me do this because I didn't.
What else you got?
I didn't talk about this yet.
What's that?
I was gonna show you this in person. We'll do it on air. I was gonna show it to you anyway.
All right.
So, my cook kit. Jared already knew about my cook kit, and he knew about my little Chinese. My first Chinese stove. Now the new Chinese
stove. Dude, that's freaking tiny. Holy cow.
All right.
I need my glasses for that. That is actually really small.
Yeah. And that thing boils faster than the other Chinese stove. You kind of got to do them all at the same time or they won't.
Yeah.
The other one will block the other, Yeah. So,
wow.
$14 on Amazon.
No
$14, and it's titanium.
Well, yeah, it's super lightweight.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's tiny,
crazy.
Dude.
Yeah. This is I found out about this from all the people that are doing the PCT.
Wow.
So there's a huge YouTube segment of.
How much does that thing weigh? Your thing weigh it?
Oh, I don't even know that we can get it to balance right.
I know. I don't think it weighs anything. I wanted to sum it with nothing.
I guess you could tear out this thing.
Oh yeah.
Or tear out your flask.
Unless you need to turn on on its own. It should.
I don't even know how to acknowledge.
Just touch this right here.
So the PCT guys.
Oh,
there you go. You got it. So the Pacific Crest Trail, it takes 4 months to walk up. That I talked about on Bertha.
26 grams. 25 grams.
25 grams. That's what they're rocking. They're all running these little mini stoves.
They used to do soda pop stoves, the penny can stoves.
They did, but then you're gonna
and
have
fuel.
the gas.
Well, with this, you still gotta have gas too.
You do, but not the loose alcohol, like you do with the other, like with the.
Yeah, well, I built one. I've got one.
Ones.
I still use it.
I do too. That's a fun little project. Yeah.
Well, the other thing I like about it too is like right now, like I have one of my canisters is like I've used it a little bit, and it's already a small, tiny one, and I really don't know how much fuel's in it, so I now have to carry 2 because I'm afraid I'm going to run out.
Have you done the whole water thing?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
But I just haven't lately.
Yeah.
I was like, when I packed it up in the morning to go on Monday, I was like, just throw another one in there and go because it was time to go.
I will put that in the store. I thought it was in the store, but should be in the store. All right, we're gonna hop over to Discord. So if you're not already doing the Discord thing, now would be the time to go download that, and the link is in the description. So make sure you hit that up. We're gonna talk there for maybe like 30 minutes because you got a timeline, I got a timeline. So normally we go a little bit longer, but just a reminder, okay, everybody, Ham Radio Crash Course on Facebook. We got the Patreon that just, again, I put the newsletter out. This month's newsletter just came out. Discord's going on, so that in the description there is all my stuff for Instagram, Twitter, Discord, etc. Go ahead, plug it up. Go to town. What are you working on? Anything. Whatever you want people to go look at.
Well, I'm always on Twitter. That's probably the #1 social media thing I'm on. I'm on that every day.
Yep.
Which is, again, my call sign, KG6HQD. My Instagram, I try to take some pictures. Other things. See, I'm taking videos, pictures, thinking of social media, thinking ahead, trying to keep the feeds going alive.
A little multimedia.
Yeah. And my Instagram feed, I feel like it's like a selfie page because it's me on this peak, me on that peak. I have a funny one I'm going to post. In fact, I might post it here in a few minutes. So on Instagram, same thing. My call sign, I think that's what it is. I don't look at my own page very often. I have to double check. But
I look at my page all the time.
Yeah,
I'm constantly freaking out about it.
What is it? It's KG6HQD. Same as my Twitter. So you can check that out there. Post up some different things. Another way to connect if you're not on Twitter, Instagram. Yep. Facebook, I'm going to tell you, other than when I go into people's pages like yours and Soda and a couple others.
And he does. He comes out and answers questions, which is great.
But I try to keep my personal Facebook, though, kind of for my personal family stuff as much as I can. You know what I mean? I have had some people come in and whatnot, but I do try to keep that a little bit on the personal side. I like Instagram and Twitter for connecting with people. And then, of course, YouTube. I mean, KG6HQD on YouTube. But please, appreciate it if you think about following me there. Check out the videos. I'm looking at doing some other things there since we're on the topic. I like to build antennas. I got some other videos on Soda, the ID5100 and D-Star stuff. Stuff on that. The Elecraft and how to use that. So as I'm learning, I'm going to share those lessons. But you mentioned my gear page. One of the things I don't like to do is I don't like putting stuff out there until I've tried it and learned it a little bit.
I agree.
Because
100%.
I don't want to mislead somebody.
Yes.
So like the 5100, I've had it for a couple weeks now. I've learned a couple key features that I'm willing to share because I feel confident in those.
Right.
But there's other areas that I want to do as well.
Right.
And the other thing too is I'm always open to suggestions. I mean, I like ideas.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what the community is all about. You
right.
know? So if you're thinking about checking me out, KG6HQD, that's pretty much my handle on all my social media channels.
There you go.
And be great. Hook up with you there. I do, like Josh says, I do answer questions. I do get back to everybody. I answer all the comments.
Yep.
Any comment that comes through gets an answer. I should be careful. You got like 30,000 people, man. If I had 30, if they gave me one a day, I'd be screwed.
Yeah. Well, you haven't made a video about a Baofeng yet. Once you make a video about a Baofeng, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
I guess I'll never have 30,000 subscribers. I'll be happy with my 900 or whatever it is.
No, you're good. You're gonna get there. His editing is amazing. I really respect the work that he does there, and that's aside from the Soda stuff, just from the good storytelling you have, which is a lot of the reason why I'm also following him and watching him. So
thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming out here. Coming on a little bit of a surprise. Hope this is fun for people. Anyway, we're gonna hop off on Discord. It's good talking to you guys. We'll do this again next week, and hopefully we'll have another video between there. But Jerry will have something up there too as well.
Yeah,
so.
I've got something working on right now. I'll have a couple this weekend. I'll probably 2 or 3 in that series, the 51, I'll probably release this weekend.
Man.
And then I'm chipping away on that other one there. I got 2 big ones that I'm working on.
The last time we talked, you were 600 points? 700 points?
No, I'm at 509 or 507.
Oh, maybe that was it. You were halfway there. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
There's 76 summits.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm, I think, at 80 summits right now. But and I've really slowed down on that. Kevin's out ripping it up right now. W6RAP, he's ripping it up. But Kevin's out there just nailing summits left and right. He's like binging. I did that too at first. And if he keeps going, 52 is his goal for the year, and that's huge. It's a lot of work. And Kevin will probably be the guy that does it.
Do you have a family?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
It's not my place.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But what I'll say is. I personally slowed down, especially when I started making different videos because it's more of a total experience now for me.
Right.
And Steve made a comment on that the other day. Steve Galchek, the guy with the ghost, W Golf 0 Alpha Tango.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, it's not always about racing to the destination. It's about the journey. And we've heard that in a lot of different areas of our life.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what it is. And quite honestly, I've held myself back from even upgrading to extra class for that reason because it's like, and we all have different philosophies.
Okay.
And mine is like, hey, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. There's been no reason to push myself. I have the book. I bought the book twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather go out and activate and build, antennas like this than sit and read a book that's, 2 inches thick and study an app on my phone. That's just me. I'm not saying it's wrong for anybody else. It's just me. I choose to do some other things with my time, and that's just I'm still having fun, so I don't care.
Right.
When I run out of fun with what I'm doing, then I'll go searching probably in other areas. I mean, I got CWs on my list, the digital modes on my list. There's a lot of things I'm going to do, and that's where the channel's going to keep on growing.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
kind
a
of
good
funny.
pace. A good
Yeah,
balance.
it's on a pace,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I would do 3 summits in a day, and now I'm like, and it was
Just
great.
get that
I
one,
loved it.
A good one, yeah.
But it was all about just knocking them out. You know, get
Right.
up there in four contacts, I'm out of here.
Right.
And I'm literally running. It's like peak bagging. And,
Right.
and I was like, man, I've really been on some just beautiful summits
Mm-hmm.
and bugged out like within 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want to do that anymore, man.
Yeah.
I want to kind of savor it a little bit.
So
that's
that's
just kind of where I'm at.
That's
know?
another good shout out too. Is WG0AT.
Steve.
W Goat basically.
Mhm.
He's kind of like a
like
godfather of YouTube soda.
Yeah.
Literally 2 pack goats that he rocks out there with, and he's great on Twitter. He does his video style is he's got his own way of doing
Yeah.
it. Like you find that like as people get more comfortable with it, they got their own kind of thing they do, and he's definitely somebody who's found their little niche. You kind of found your own little like look and feel to your videos, makes it look good. So yeah. Excellent. Okay, well we're gonna cut it here. We almost went 2 hours. Wow.
What already? Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, we did it again.
Yeah.
We're like 2 chicks, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it I love talking to you. All right, guys, that'll do it. We're gonna cut it. Gonna go to Discord really quick. Talk to you guys there. So
make that antenna and then let us know how it works. I want to know.
yeah, you know that's the best thing is
Yeah.
you're talking $20. Go to Lowe's and whip it up. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a
$5.
bunch of extra parts. Yeah, you
Tear
don't
your
get the
boombox out
50.
and
You
use
know.
that. Yeah, you know. Anyways, it's cheap and
Yeah.
it's fun and it's easy and it's something to try.
Do it. All right.
Bye.
That